Alright guys, so I saw Wind River. So Wind River, it's like a murder mystery where this Jeremy Renner in this movie, he finds the body of this girl who is found in the middle of nowhere, and she's barefooted, and it looked like she was actually murdered. So they're trying to investigate how she even got that far, walking barefoot, if it was snowing that day, and they're trying to investigate how she even got murdered. Going into this movie, I went in completely blind. I didn't know what this movie was about. The only thing that I knew about this movie is the talent involved behind this movie. This movie is written and directed by the guy who wrote movies such as Hell and High Water, which I haven't seen, Sicario, and its upcoming sequel, Soldado, which, again, I've probably said this a million times in different videos, but I already watched Soldado. I watched a test screening, and after watching those two movies, Sicario and Soldado, it absolutely makes sense where this, the writing and the directing of this movie is coming from, because those movies are really well written, and I really see where this movie does a really good job at what it's doing in terms of, the writing and directing. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with this movie, and he absolutely went where he wanted to go. You could easily tell. Jeremy Renner gives a very strong performance in this movie. He really has, I really like his character, and his character has like a backstory to his family, and it's kind of devastating to think about it. But you absolutely see why he is trying to help the family of this girl, because he's been there at some point. And this movie does a really good and obvious job at pointing that out. Elizabeth Olsen is also really good in this movie, but I think that the best thing that her character has to offer, or one of the best things at least, is that her character is a character that the audience could kind of connect with, because as someone asked me who was the audience, I really feel how she was feeling about the whole case and situation. She's really angry about this, and I honestly felt I felt like I was in her shoes, and I kind of connected with her character in a way while I was watching this movie. Now, they do a really good job setting up the story and how this situation kind of came to be. They go as far as to actually showing how this happened and how this girl got murdered. They show all of that in this movie, which is honestly kind of disturbing to watch. I mean, not only is the scene kind of disturbing to watch, but it's very shocking, and it really points out how much of assholes these guys who murdered this girl are, and it just had me really upset. And I'm kind of glad that this movie actually makes you feel something for the characters, or what's happening on screen, because that's basically kind of the point of a movie. You kind of need to kind of feel something, and in this movie I was really upset. Definitely a very upsetting movie to watch. One of the most upsetting movies I've watched all this year. Of course, I think that Detroit is still a bit more upsetting than this to watch, but this movie is quite hard to watch sometimes. I mean, last week when I saw Birth of the Dragon, when I was waiting to get my ticket at box office, there was this elderly couple in front of me, and they went up to the box office and they had tickets to Wind River, and they were only about 30 minutes into the movie, and they're like, yeah, this movie's too graphic for us. Can we just get our money back? And ever since that elderly couple said that, I was really curious in watching this film. And now I see why, because yes, this movie is quite graphic, and again, it's kind of disturbing to watch. Really, if I had to point out something about this movie, is that there are so many scenes that are really suspenseful that when you get to the next scene, it really kind of tends to drag, because you want to get to the next thing that is really suspenseful to watch. But that's about my only flaw with this movie. It's just that there are very few scenes that actually do kind of drag. In the end, this is a really hard movie to watch and sit through. But the way the story is told is fantastic, because I was really there in my seat, really wanting to know what else was about to happen, and it really kind of just sucks you into the story. And this movie is really well written and really well acted, so this is definitely a movie that I think they should go watch for full price, and that's why I'm going to give Wind River an A-. This movie is definitely not for everyone. I say if you could handle, and if you really like Sicario, then I think you should really give this movie a shot if you haven't already, because it has almost the same amount of suspense and same amount of violence. So definitely, if you really like Sicario, then definitely give this movie a shot, because I think you're gonna love it. I did not know about this till I was looking at the end credits, but Peter Berg produced this movie. That explains so damn much and why this movie was so damn good. Anyways, have you guys seen Wind River? If you guys seen it, what did you guys think about it? Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.